Welcome back to the Making the Madness college basketball preview of the NCAA tournament. Today we are looking at the South region, and this is the region Baylor is the one seed in. I think they've got a kind of easy path to the Final Four here, and they're obviously the team to beat this year. Scott Drew never made the Final Four, uh, and I think if they don't make it at least to the Final Four this year, it'll be a very disappointing season. So it's going to be, I think a fun South region. You've got a lot of intriguing matchups all throughout. I think the second round could be very good. So, it should be a fantastic South region.
Yeah, let's hit it.
All right. One seed Baylor against Hartford. I'm going to go with the Bears here. I just think they're a more talented team. I think one thing that Oklahoma State loss did that kind of told them, hey, we need to lock down a little bit defensively. I think they'll beat Hartford kind of handily.
Yeah, I think that Baylor it's a 1 versus 16. There's only been one team that's ever won as a 16 seed. That's not going to change here with how good Baylor is. You have Davion Mitchell, who I think is the most valuable player on the team. You have Jared Butler, obviously, Maceo Teague, who turned into Clay Thompson one of the last games of the season, Mark Vidal, Jonathan Shamwa Shachua. You have Flo Thamba. You have all kinds of pieces. I'm going with Baylor.
All right, then we've got North Carolina as the 8 seed against Wisconsin, the 9 seed. I'm going to go with North Carolina here. I just think, for one, North Carolina is playing really good basketball right now, and two, I can't trust Wisconsin. So give me North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going North Carolina too. I mean, I think we all know where we sit on Wisconsin. They're just not a very good team overall, and I think the last spot they all play really well. You have Garrison Brooks, who I think right now is probably the worst of the four. Then you have Armando Bacot, Walker Kessler, and Dayron Sharp. I like that. And if Caleb Love can have a big game, that makes things certainly different. I like Anthony Harris and I like RJ Davis. I think they'll be able to play enough of a role for UNC to roll through this one pretty handily.
All right. Uh, Next up, we've got Villanova against your Winthrop Eagles. I'm going to go with Villanova
My
here.
Winthrop Eagles.
Yeah, see, the
We
pick
know Winthrop Eagles.
the pick's too comfortable here because
Okay.
everyone is going with Winthrop here. It's they seem like the better team. They have the better point guard here with Chandler Vaudrin. No offense to Ryan Archidiakono's brother, but the pick is too trendy.
Yeah.
Villanova only loses in the second round every year, so you know you gotta go against those classic curses. I'm gonna go with Villanova in the 5-12 upset to upset Winthrop as the 12 seed.
It won't be an upset because Nova's favored. Come on. But if you have to call him Ryan Archidiakono's brother, that's a problem. He's Chris Archidiakono, and he's not good at basketball at all. I admire his work ethic. He's not good, but I'm gonna go with Winthrop. They run 11 deep. Chandler Vaudrin's a stud. You have Josh Corbin who can light it up. He got Steph Curry range. DJ Burns inside. Kelton Talford, Chase Claxton. I just like this team too much. Give me the Winthrop Eagles.
All right, then we've got 4 Purdue against 13 North Texas. I like Purdue here. They're North Texas. They like to play ugly. Purdue can play ugly. They can play pretty. I just think Purdue's going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a tough matchup for North Texas because they aren't huge in terms of size. You have Thomas Bell and Zachary Simmons inside, but Travion Williams and Zach Edey could have a field day with that. North Texas wins with their guards, Javion Hamlin, Mardrez McBride, James Reese, also out there on the wing. I think that those three are huge for North Texas's success. And if they shoot the ball really well, they could win. But I like Purdue as a complete team. It's not just Williams and Edey. You have Jaden Ivey, a star freshman. You have Sasha Stefanovic. You have Brandon Newman. There's just so much on this team. I'm going with Purdue.
All right, then we've got going down to the bottom half of the bracket. We've got Texas Tech against Utah State. I'm going to roll with the Texas Tech Red Raiders here. I think Mac McClung he's built for March Madness. I think they have a big advantage at the guard. I think they've kind of gone against Jericho Sims, David McCormick. Like they know how to go against a really big guy. So I'm going to roll with the Red Raiders.
I'm going to go with Utah State. I like Neemias Queta. I think he has a monster game. They haven't seen anybody like him. Dave McCormick isn't as good as him. Jericho Sims isn't as good as him. You have Justin Bean right next to him in the front court. My question, like you said, though, is with the guards. Can Marco Anthony play a good enough game? Can Raleigh Worcester, who's really developed throughout the season, continue playing at that high level, defending Mac McClung? We'll have to see what happens there. But I think that Utah State rolls on here.
All right. Then we've got Arkansas against Colgate. This game will be first to 1,000 wins. I think Arkansas gets there, though. So give me Arkansas to advance.
Yeah, I think Arkansas wins. I think that they're just more athletically built. I think that they have more pieces overall. But don't sleep on the Colgate Raiders. Matt Langle is really building something good there. Let's see how long he stays there. But Jordan Burns is a baller. And you have Jack Ferguson, who has the highest, I believe it is, offensive rating in the country. Depending on where you look in most spots, he has that. Then you have Nelly Cummings, you have Ryan Moffitt, you have Keegan Records, and Jeff Woodward that all are going to have to play big roles if Colgate's going to be able to win this one. But I'm going with Moses Moody in Arkansas.
I would have really liked it if Colgate was, a 13 seed.
I'd pick him over Texas.
Yeah, I think that, if they would have been a 13 seed, I mean, I think this is just a bad matchup for them at the end of the day. I think Arkansas can just score with them, outscore them. If they were playing maybe it's Texas or Kansas, I could see them potentially pulling off the upset. But I think Arkansas is just a bad matchup. So give me Arkansas to advance. We've got the Kerry Blackshear, Jalen Hudson Bowl. It is Florida against Virginia Tech. And I am going to go with Florida here. I've kind of thought it over a little bit. I just think the Gators won. I think they're a little bit better team. They play a defensive mindset, and I'm going to go with the Gators here.
Yeah, I'm going with Virginia Tech. I mean, just look at how terrible Florida's played the last month, and I trust the just offensive philosophy of Mike Young. He wants to shoot the ball. He wants to just really let it fly. They don't play a great defensive game, but they also have Keve Aluma inside. I like Jalen Cone, Naheem Aline, and Hunter Couture to light it up from outside. Tyrese Radford and Keve Aluma to do work inside. Give me Virginia Tech.
To be honest, I don't really like either of these teams.
I don't either. No.
Yeah. What? There's not really. I guess maybe if the 7-10 games aren't going to be interesting because with the exception of Oregon VCU, I think this game's going to be ugly. I think Clemson Rutgers is going to be ugly. I think UConn Maryland could be a blowout. So, I don't like the 7-10 games this year.
Me neither, for sure.
All right, then we've got Ohio State against Oral Roberts. I'm going to go with the Buckeyes and set you up.
Oh man, I said it. I said it when Oral Roberts won the Summit League championship. I tweeted word for word on May 9th at about 10 Eastern time and PM. I said if Oral Roberts somehow gets a 15 seed and faces Ohio State, I am taking Oral Roberts. I'm not even kidding. I wasn't kidding. I'm taking Oral Roberts. You have Max Asmus, the top scorer in the country at 24 points per game. He shoots 43% from deep, nearly 50% from the field, 89.9% from the foul line. Then you have Kevin O'Banner averaging a double-double, shooting nearly 50% from deep as a 6'8" big man. Then you have DeShane Weaver, who is also 6'8", plays down there a little bit. Francis Lasis can defend down low a little bit. Carlos Jurgens is the best defender on the team. There's not a ton of defense on the team, which is an issue, and not a lot of size. But the good thing is Ohio State's not big either. You have EJ Liddell and Justice Suing, Kyle Young. All those guys might eat in this game, but they're not going to shoot to the level that Oral Roberts can. Oral Roberts could drop 100, and they have multiple times this year. I think Oral Roberts will be the ninth team in college basketball history to be a 15 seed that wins a basketball game.
All right. The upset pick has been submitted. On to round two, Baylor against North Carolina. I just think, one, North Carolina is kind of cursed against Big 12 teams. They always lose to Texas. They always lose to Kansas. They're going to lose to Baylor, so give me the Bears.
Yeah, I think this could be a tough game if you look at if the four big men just go nuts. But overall, I just think that Baylor's just better. You have Davion Mitchell, who's better than any guard on North Carolina. So is Maceo Teague. So is Jared Butler. All those guys I just like more. So I think that Baylor's going to win.
Guards win in March. Baylor has guards. Your Winthrop Eagles against Purdue. Who do you like?
Going by Winthrop Eagles. I mean, I can't pick against them this early. Come on. They're going to be a Cinderella team. They're going to the Sweet 16 to face Baylor. I just think that Chandler Baudrin can take over here. I love the 11 deep that the Winthrop can go. And Purdue's a great team in their own right. I just think Winthrop can win.
I'm going to go with Purdue over Villanova. The Villanova either wins the national championship or loses in the second round. Curse will continue. They're going to lose in the second round. So give me Purdue advancing to the Sweet 16. That sets us up, me with Texas Tech against Arkansas, you with Arkansas against Utah State. I'm going to go with Arkansas to beat Texas Tech. I just think, one, they're a little bit more talented team. They have a little bit more depth. They have scoring at every position. They can run big. They can run small. I like the Razorbacks to beat Texas Tech.
Man, I'm gonna go with Arkansas. I want to go. Everything in me wants to take Utah State, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take Arkansas. Eric Musselman has a great thing going in Fayetteville, Arkansas. You have Moses Moody. He's could have easily been Conference Player of the Year. You have Jalen Tate. Justin Smith. I think they've only lost like 3 times this year when Justin Smith is in the lineup. And you have Connor Vanover, who's 7'3", can block shots and shoot threes. What more is there to love? JD Note off the bench, Desi Sills. Give me Arkansas to win here.
Right. Oral Roberts against. You had Virginia Tech, so 10-15 matchup.
Give me Oral Roberts. I mean, these two teams play similar style, and I love the draw here. Unless Keve Aluma drops 30, I think that Oral Roberts wins this one because they shoot the ball just as much. I think actually more than Virginia Tech. And I think whoever hits more threes will win. And I think that'll be Oral Roberts.
All right. I'm going to go with Ohio State to beat Florida. I just think, one, I don't really like either of the 7-10 matchups, whether they're playing Florida, whether they're playing Virginia Tech. So give me the Buckeyes to advance to play Arkansas. All right, back to the top. I've got Baylor, Purdue. I've got Baylor advancing past Purdue. I think Purdue's going to be really dangerous next year. Good for them to get some tournament experience, but at the end of the day, Baylor's the team of the present. They've got Davion Mitchell. They've got Jared Butler. They've got Maceo Teague. They've got Mark Vidal. I'm rolling with the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to go Baylor over Winthrop. Unfortunately, the run is over for Pat Kelsey's team, but Baylor's just a fantastic team. I hope it's close, but I think Baylor is going to win here.
Right. Then it is Arkansas against Oral Roberts for you. Do you like Oral Roberts to be the first 15 to the Elite Eight?
Everything in me wants to say yes, but I can't pick them all the way. I'm going to go Arkansas here. Moses Moody is just an absolute baller. I didn't mention him earlier, but Devo Davis, he's like Patrick Beverly. I think all the pieces that Arkansas have is, just overall better. And these two teams did actually play earlier in the season. Oral Roberts led by 10 at the half, but ended up losing by 9, I think. So it could be a close game, but I think Arkansas would win this one.
All right. We've got the same Elite Eight matchup. I've got Baylor against Arkansas because I think Arkansas is going to beat Ohio State. I think they're playing better right now. So, yeah, give me Arkansas to beat Ohio State and play Baylor in the South Regional Championship game. All right. As for that game, I'm going to go with the Bears. Guards win in March. I think the Bears have better guards. They're better two-way guards as well. The defense hasn't been great as of late, but I think you get some NCAA tournament games. You give bit of game pressure under you. You start playing a little bit harder defensively. I think they've kind of been lackadaisical in that side of the ball a little bit. So I'm going to go with the Bears advancing to Scott Drew's first ever Final Four.
Yeah, and it's hard to go against them. I mean, they've been tremendous all season. After the COVID pause, they looked sketchy for a couple games there, but I think that they'll take that time off and use it to recharge the batteries, get ready to play the biggest games of their life to this point. And I think that after last year, they could have certainly been a Final Four team. They really want to get there this year. I think they'll get there this year. They'll be in the Final Four.
All right, that will wrap it up for the South Regional. Our next podcast will be the Midwest Regional and the Final Four picks, so you'll definitely want to tune into that one. Stay tuned.